What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Barbells and Trails podcast. I'm your host Brett, back with my other host Riley.
Let's go.
We are on episode 67, and I'm gonna rub your
67.
face in that because he told me after we recorded last week that I had the wrong number, and I was correct. So, suck it.
I'm good, thanks.
But so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Just
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, what are we talking about this week? Go.
Do you want to talk about golf? Since we golfed today.
True. Okay.
18.
So I officially have taken I feel like your true golf virginity. I said that to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was
just
wondering
because.
where you're going for that. But okay.
Well, I mean, like, so in general, I took you golfing the first time.
Yep.
In general, this year, because I was just like, hey, come golf, and you're like,
Why not?
all right, sure, and you tagged along. But today was your first ever actual game of 18, so you actually played a full round. We actually got to see like kind of what your handicap roughly is, and how that actually affects your game. Because 18 is a lot different than 9. It can
just
be a lot.
It's rough sometimes.
Oh, 100%. That's just golf.
Yeah.
That's just golf.
It's ups.
But
and
honestly,
lows.
for your first 18, not bad. I mean, 10 strokes better than both me and Kelvin when we played our first 18 this year. So, I mean, you did pretty good. Like, considering you've only played 3 9s and then now 1 18.
Yeah. It's not terrible.
You're not doing terrible. I mean, what'd you think?
I enjoyed it, but then again, I have played baseball, so it's just.
Yeah, it affects your
It is really, really hard not to mess up because it's just completely different stance.
Yeah. I mean,
So.
I would, like, I've never taken any golf lessons.
Mm-hmm.
I would be interested in possibly eventually.
Maybe.
Like, just even for like an hour to have somebody kind of adjust maybe my swing a little bit. Because maybe there is something that's off. And it's like, oh, hey, try this. This might help.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, perfect. Like, because sometimes it's like, oh, some people say, don't change your swing. And just like adjust. But it's like at the same time, I feel like if you don't, like, especially with someone new, it's like you might as well try to fix it early.
Mm-hmm.
So your swing's at least reasonably good and then just build on it.
Yeah.
Because it's like making sure your form's right. Because like there's so many things. Like when I started, it's like, oh, I was picking up my foot. I wasn't always looking at the ball. I was lining up funky. I teed it up too high. I did like all these like little things that like make a big difference.
Right. Like just like what Josh did to me.
Yeah.
Just angling it backwards a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that does help. Because
yeah, just a slight twist of the
even
club
he did play.
face.
He played baseball.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just little things, but you didn't do bad. You ended up with a 125, which isn't bad. You got your first +1, and you told me, you're like, and Freddie's like, wow, I can't believe Brett's doubting you, because they said, I think that's probably your first one.
I think
But it probably is. I mean,
I swear I did something.
I mean, maybe, and it might have been on another par 3, but I don't think on a par 4 you've had any +1s that I can think of, like to thinking of our past games.
Yeah, on a par.
I mean, at least a par 2, or
Right.
maybe at least definitely +2s, but I don't know if you've had any.
Well, I
+1s
teed
yet.
off really bad on that +3, par 3. Not
Yeah.
+3, but
But I mean, you still pulled it off.
well, yeah, because I used my 7 and I hit it back on the green. So
Yeah, that's all that matters. You had it. You
Yep.
had it. I mean, I had the most pars of the day, which was only 2, technically 3.
dude, you
Technically
were
3
singing them.
Dude,
friggin'
some of my
putting.
putts today, I don't know what it was. I was reading. I'm learning to read the green better,
Mhm.
and like adjust my hitting, because like I
Yeah.
typically I rather hit slightly soft than too hard and
Mhm.
roll past. And the thing is like, oh well, you don't got to read the green if you hit really hard, because the ball will just roll.
Yeah.
And if you go slower though, then any curve there is actually like affects the ball.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, if you hit softer, so it doesn't necessarily go past the hole a bunch,
Right.
you also got to actually get better at reading the green to know, oh, it's going to bring my ball this way or something.
Right.
Like there's one where I was almost dead on, and then there's another one I was like, oh, I just hit that way too hard. And,
Right.
And
yeah.
I mean, I was getting.
That's how
I saw
usually
some
hit
far
them way
putts.
too hard. So I'm just trying to get used to it. So.
Putting driving is very important to the game,
Mm-hmm.
but in the end, you can make up a crappy drive. Putting
Right.
is definitely the thing that can really make it or break it. Obviously, like getting onto the green, it's a lot nicer once you get better at like in general getting your chips onto the
Right.
green, or even your nines onto the green closer to the
Mhm.
hole. But like if you can, at one point, I mean, think about it. It's like if you average like a 3 putt or even a 4 putt, and you're able to get that down to a 2 or something,
Right.
it's like, okay, that's 18 strokes a game possibly you just scratched off. And then that doesn't include you eventually getting better at driving or hitting
Right.
everything else.
So yeah.
Short game is very important. That it really is.
Yeah. I'm even just trying to, well, putting especially, but even trying to get on the green with a wedge. It's kind of, I'm even trying to get used to that because I had some actually,
Yeah.
some pretty good,
Yeah.
but all others I would hit like the very end of it, so it
And it
just went
just-
straight.
Yeah.
It didn't go up. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But I feel like you didn't do too
didn't.
bad. I mean, honestly, you might by next year you might actually be in front of Kelvin, especially if he gets some winter rust involved. I guess it just depends on how much we possibly go and play Top Golf this this winter,
I wish it was
or
summer.
or maybe golf simulators, because I definitely want to.
That would be kind of cool. So.
Yeah, just to kind of stay up on our golf game a little bit.
Mm.
Makes it a little easier.
Right.
And it's honestly kind of fun. What we played, you missed out on it, but like down at Top Golf now, they have simulators. So it will
That's
actually
true. I have
like
seen
play games, and you got to watch the screen and more the screen than you actually how you hit. It's not just like, oh, aim for a target. You actually got to be like, oh, 70 yards roughly. How far could I hit this? Okay, let me try this club, and this is at least the direction I got to go. But even if it looks good and it was a good hit, but if it's a little too far right or something on the simulator, you might go off a cliff. It is like, oh,
True.
like Josh did that twice. Like
Wait, did he really?
we were playing closest to the pin last time we were there, and that was the best game I had all night. And I the first hit I actually hit on Freddie's on accident.
Mm-hmm.
If I would have hit it on mine, I would have been first place ahead of second by at least 400 plus feet by the end of it, because it was like through 9 holes,
Yeah.
and it's just one hit. See how close you can get to the flag.
And you got really close, I'm guessing. So.
I was pretty good. I was at least under 100 feet on all of them. But like Josh, in one situation, just hit it, and then he looks up at the like simulation, and he's rolling down a cliff, and he's like,
He's like,
yeah, he was not having a great time.
yeah.
But no, I think he did pretty good. I think he had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was kind of cold at first today.
I'm kind of used to it though, so
Yeah, I mean,
that was a little chilly.
dealing with leaves on the ground, that was annoying.
That was really annoying because like we're like, oh, there's my ball. Nope, that's a leaf.
Yeah, right. I mean, what was your favorite part? Like today?
I don't know. Maybe the par 3 that I only hit a +1 on. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, well,
I had some good drives though too. So, but also had some.
I'm trying to think.
Kinda
I
crappy
think you
one.
ended up with a +2 on the first par 3, but like your first and second hit weren't great. But then your third one, you were able to chip it up over that hill, and you were within
that's
4 or
right.
5 feet of the
Yeah,
hole.
that
Like
wasn't
it was a
that bad
hell
either.
of a hit. And even I was like, wait,
Even I did that too today. I mean, it was the opposite side basically, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, golf is fun. It
It's
really is.
fun.
It's
It's just-
addiction. It's addictive.
it's addictive. I just need to get like slightly better at a little bit of everything. So
yeah. That's kind of how it starts, and then
Yeah.
eventually you get good with like one thing. And it's
yeah.
like, shit, now I gotta do everything else.
I think I'm pretty decent with my 7. I just that's probably because I use my 7 a lot.
Yeah, well, that's typically how it goes. Eventually, you'll be like, oh, well, let me try this, and you're like, oh man, I cannot hit this like I can hit other
That's
clubs.
how my hybrid is. I
Yeah.
cannot hit my hybrid.
Yeah, you just gotta figure out like the little adjustments you gotta make.
Yeah,
But it's fun. It was
was
a good
fun.
time.
it was fun. Took a little bit of time, but
Yeah, a little bit. Well, hey, before we get too far into this, I think we should tell everybody that you should go like and subscribe.
you better do it.
Yeah, we are only 3 away from
Is it
100.
3?
Yeah,
3.
well, at least as of now of this recording, we are at 97 subscribers.
We better get there.
Yes, because like we've talked, or I've mentioned. I don't know if we talked about it since
We
you've been
talked
on.
about it a
We
little.
have. So we are planning on doing a live stream we'll go ahead and tell you guys that now. We plan on doing a live stream when we hit 100 subs. We should hopefully hit it here within, I hope, a week or two or less. If you guys help us out. So if you guys do that, that'd be very much appreciated. I will let you guys know now. We probably will schedule it beforehand on the YouTube channel so everybody is aware. We'll post on all social media platforms. Anything along those lines, we plan on doing basically the live stream. We're at least hopefully planning ahead. And hopefully at that point we do hit 100. We plan on doing the live stream. Probably, we don't know the exact time, but probably 6:30 p.m. EST on Friday the 3rd. Yeah. So that's kind of the game plan. There's going to be, we've already, several people that's been talked about on this podcast will all be here. There will be 6 of us in the studio. It will be interesting. It might be a little tight.
Maybe, but it will be fun.
We'll see. I mean, one of the guys did mention, we should try recording out in the living room. And not saying eventually that might not be a possibility, but at least right now and how we record things and how we do it all, I think it'd just be too difficult to try doing that. I mean, the biggest thing is the mic situation.
The mic situation and the camera situation too.
Camera would be easy enough, honestly. At one point, we could just have a very large cable, but yeah, I mean that's 10 feet. We could get a 30-foot charger cable.
30-foot charger. Holy crap!
So, yeah, right. That might be a little bit of
imagine
overkill.
tripping on that.
Yeah, right. So I mean, we'll kind of figure that out. That one's still a work in progress, but I think we're to do it. We're shooting for that, and we're basically gonna come up with a few ideas, for us to either talk about things or at least some ideas for us to do during the live stream. If you guys do have any ideas or topics or something you want us to talk about, either comment on these the next couple episodes beforehand.
Yes.
Either on Spotify or YouTube. DM us on Instagram. Or if anything, just be sure to mention it on the live stream when we're doing it. Comment live, and we'll read them off and kind of see what's going on.
Yep.
I think it'll be interesting.
It's gonna be fun.
I think everybody's pretty game for it, so we'll have quite a variety of people. So it'll be pretty interesting. Technically two immigrants, and then two dads and a granddad, pretty much. 2 grandfathers, actually.
Yeah. Geez.
Yeah.
And an uncle.
Huh? Oh yeah, you're an uncle. I was like, wait, who? 19-year-old, a 22, 26, 43, and a 58-year-old. Quite a diverse group.
Hey, that's just what's going to make it special. So
yes, exactly. It'll be a lot of fun. I think we got to work on a few ideas, but we have a few things planned already.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
So I think we'll probably, I honestly don't know how long we will, but we'll probably do it for at least 2 or 3 hours.
That night. That's what I was thinking. At least 2. So.
Yeah. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So keep that in mind and be sure to make people subscribe just so we make sure we hit that number.
Make sure to put on your calendars.
Yeah, put it on your calendars if you care.
Friday.
That much.
What is
Be
it?
like, hey Siri, please remind me of live stream at 6:30 on the 3rd.
On the 3rd.
November. Boom. Done. Easy. My phone's gonna remind me now at 6:30. No. Imagine. So that's at least the game plans with that. As for that, I mean, I feel like last week was a pretty good episode. I had a lot of fun, honestly, talking about that stuff. JJ still hasn't posted anything.
Has he not?
Not that I've seen.
Yeah, I haven't looked.
Unless I missed something.
So
it'll be interesting because I mean, Sidemen Sunday just came out today, and it was a mukbang, so basically a podcast, just with food. Mm-hmm. So depending on when they recorded this could have been considering it's a mukbang and JJ would have been training. I'm guessing this is after the fights that they recorded this.
True, he would be eating tons.
Exactly. So I'm guessing they will discuss it and that'll be talked about. So I am curious to eventually watch that.
Yeah.
But for how people talked, like I listened to Logan Paul talk about it, like they recorded a podcast like a day or two later.
Yeah, what did they say?
They said that afterwards, after he got back to the, after JJ got back to his locker room and stuff, he had calmed down a lot more. And he said he was actually handling it pretty well. Okay. Which, I feel like that was possibly an eventuality because I mean JJ has dealt with a lot and he deals with hate pretty well, like compared to most, considering how big he is. I feel like he does well. But yeah, he said he seemed to handle it reasonably well because I mean like the loss would have been so much different if he got KO'd.
Oh yeah, totally.
It would have been
totally
taken
different.
so much worse. But considering it was something like that,
I'm really wondering what he's gonna have to say about it. But I mean, I don't know. Like he seemed so freaking mad after the fight, kicking.
Yeah,
I think did he punch something too?
I
don't remember.
I doubt it.
But
no,
I'm glad he cooled off by the time he got to the locker room.
Yeah, it sounded like he did at least, and I think everybody was kind of forced him to kind of sit down and be like, dude, hey, like, don't, like, what are you talking about? This really wasn't a loss, honestly. Like, it could have been so much worse. Like, he didn't win. Like, he said he was going to destroy you because you're a terrible boxer, and that's why he's so good, and guess what? He didn't. So
honestly, I mean, they say he won. I'm not saying he didn't win, but it's like, he didn't really win because just like, yes, he's a pro boxer. He should have demolished KSI.
Well, that's also, I heard how some people were talking. It was like, look at how Tommy Fury reacted to both beating JJ, KSI, and Jake Paul. And he's like, he like acted like these were the biggest wins of his life. And then he talks about how he hates like YouTube boxing and he doesn't want to fight creators and he's trying to destroy the industry or whatever. Right. And all this stuff. But then like he won't fight Vidal, which is a very large up and coming boxer. Like the first guy that trained JJ initially. Like he's I'm pretty sure he's a UK champion. Like he's very good. Like he's very, very good. I don't think he's lost a match. He's a very good boxer for his age, which I don't think he's honestly that old. Like I think he might be roughly my age. He might be a few years older. Okay. But like he's not very old.
So he's not even 30?
He's been boxing since he was like 14 or younger and like professional like leagues.
Wow.
And he's very, very good. So, but he said he didn't want to fight Vidal because it wouldn't sell tickets. And it's like, well, the people that are going to sell the most tickets are going to be influencers. It's not going to be some Joe Blow boxer that's been boxing for 20 years that no one knows about. Like, I mean, so it's like, what do you want to do? Do you want big paychecks? Do you want views? Okay, well, guess what?
So he's all about the money too.
Yeah, like, so it's like it's not going to be through regular boxers.
Right.
And so people were talking about that, but then at the same time, like he basically talked about how disgraceful YouTube boxing was to the sport and how I'm gonna break it and I'm gonna destroy him because he's not a real boxer. And then in the end, he won, but it was very close. Like if he was gonna prove that he was so much better, he would have demolished them. He would have knocked them out,
KO'd them.
But guess what? He didn't. He didn't do it to him or Jake.
He even said that he doesn't even want to fight against YouTube boxers. Did you hear that? At the end, he said that.
But then at the same time, they mentioned a rematch.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of contemplated, not with JJ, but even with Jake. Mm-hmm. And he was kind of like, well, like he didn't necessarily say like, no.
Even JJ hesitated too.
I think JJ won't. I don't think he
will. No.
Because I think JJ has slightly recognized that, you know what? I mean, yes, I lost, but it wouldn't be worth me fighting him again, considering he was like, oh, your ass. I'm gonna destroy you because you're not a real boxer. Right. He didn't destroy JJ.
He didn't.
So it's like, okay, why would I want to take that fight again when he talked such big talk? And guess what? He really didn't do much.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens, at least in the near future, when it comes to, is JJ gonna fight again like next summer? Like what's going on? Like when's his next fight, or who will it be?
I think for now he should just take time, at least for himself. So
yeah, I think he is. I think everybody talked about that. Like I think he's gonna take time, because like even Logan was, what were they talking about? They were talking about something. So I didn't know this, but after the fight, Logan did a drug test. To basically see, like a urine sample. Like USADA showed up, and he's like, hey, well, we're going here to do this. He's like, can I do that? Or they were waiting on a sample, and he's like, oh, I can't piss. I just like sweated like gallons out after the fight. He's like, I don't need to pee. So they came back with him to like the after party and like waited on him until he could piss, because basically he wanted to prove the allegations that everybody's saying he's on roids, to basically be like, We wanted to prove everybody
Okay,
wrong.
I thought it was like a drug test.
It was.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
not a drug test, but like alcohol test or something.
Yeah. So they were trying to make sure that he didn't have any steroids in his system. I don't know if that's come out yet or not. But he talked about it on the podcast.
Does. I don't think he does at all.
I don't think so. I think honestly he has good genetics. I mean, look at Jake too. Like Jake is a very well built dude, but at the same time I feel like I think Logan trains differently, but he's also always been pretty big. Like he's always been pretty meaty. Like he's never been small.
Like even when both of them were in high school, they weren't like muscular, but they both like just not skinny either.
Yeah, they're like 6'3".
Yeah,
like,
they're
like
6'3".
Logan's like 6'4", I think.
They were just like
they're big guys.
Just big,
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. People are like, oh well, he's been putting on muscle since he was getting ready for the boxing match, and I was like,
he's been
really? I was like, I don't think so. I was like, he looks like he's looked like this also.
He might have
like he's been training for the past couple years in general, but like now he's doing WWE, so he's been doing that for what, a year now?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, so of course he stayed super fit and stuff. Like he's never been small.
I mean, maybe he lost.
He's
fat.
leaned. Yeah, he's leaned down a little more, but even then, it's like, shit. So that was supposedly going on, but yeah, it'll be curious to see what all happens with that.
Right.
It's hard to guess.
It is really hard to guess.
But I guess some of the Sidemen guys did tell JJ to be like take some time. Like he's gonna start training less and all this stuff. But even Logan admitted he's like JJ hands down trains harder than me. 100%. He's like he does 2 days all the time. And he's like the guy's relentless as shit. It's like I train, but he would train me in circles. He's like JJ was not gassed at all by the end of that.
No, he wasn't.
Not even close.
And I feel like that's just his whole mentality.
And,
it really is.
And that's the thing is I don't think Logan necessarily is there also trying to like be biased and back him like unrealistically by saying like JJ like KSI is the best boxer, but at the same time he's like, oh yeah, 100% he trains more than me. He trains way harder than I do, and like yeah, you can see it. I mean even think about his body transformation over the past 2 years. JJ went from like basically not being super fit. Or being, even when he did get fit, which would have been for the first fight with Joe, he was so much smaller.
He was.
And then it's like, so you go the past 4 years, he's not only probably put on 20 pounds of muscle.
I was going to say 20 or 30 pounds of muscle, yeah.
And then went from also fat to within that same year losing, I think, 30 pounds plus within like 10 months. And getting a 6-pack and just ripped.
Right.
Like, I'm surprised people aren't saying JJ's on roids.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, no, the dude's just lean. Like, he's lean as shit, and he trains all the time.
Even KSI's documentary. Yeah. It came out. When did that come out? It came out a little bit ago.
3 months ago?
Yeah, something like that. But, like, they even talked, like, how much he trained. Because didn't he have a fight?
He's had multiple the past year and a half.
Yes, I mean.
So, I mean, he's gone into camp now the past year and a half, 2 years, probably 3-4 times, let alone training in between camps, which is.
He's just insane.
Yeah, he's very dedicated. He definitely has work ethic. Very, very hard. So, it'll be interesting to see. But, well, hey, not only that. We put up decorations.
We did. We're so fallish now.
Fallish, yeah. I think. Sorta. Yeah, it's kind of late. We should have put it up like a month ago.
Yeah.
We didn't think about it. I honestly kind of forgot I had it until I saw a clip or something from an old video. And I was like, oh, wait, I do have those. I do have those somewhere. So we decided to put this out. Yeah, exactly. It's fall. Drink your pumpkin spice lattes.
Oh my gosh.
And go to the pumpkin patch. And drink your hot apple cider.
Yes.
And yeah. Wear sweaters.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So
yeah.
we are terrible at this.
What?
I don't know. Just being white girls apparently.
Go to Starbucks.
Ew.
It's Starbucks. You never heard that?
No, I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
Yeah, don't ever call it Starbucks ever again. Yeah. So Yeah, there are a few things, like, obviously we've talked about. I don't know for the live stream if we'll do multiple camera angles, but we'll at least have more mics. We'll have guests. So
we will.
technically after the live stream, we should be physically prepared to have guests again. So we can have 3 or 4 people on the podcast. So that will completely change the dynamic at some point. And depending on how the live stream goes, I wouldn't be against doing one every 2 months or something.
Yeah.
Just for
Just
fun.
Set a goal and something, yeah.
Yeah. Either when we set goals or just for fun. Like, just do a one-off. Be like, hey, like every 2 months or something, on one Saturday a month, we'll do a live stream or something, and just we do different stuff. Either do podcast stuff, or we could stream video games or something. Go real nerdy.
So nerdy.
Yeah, so nerdy. Games. What a nerd.
Let's go.
Geeks do that stuff.
Geeks, not nerds.
Geeks.
I guess that's true. Nerds are more into books.
I think.
Well,
We're gamers. No,
Well,
we're not.
gamers.
Don't ever say that again. But I said it.
you did say it.
I did say it.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah. I don't want to say that. Okay, so, okay. Fuck. I you know what? Let's pull some of these.
You know what?
Because we've talked about it for
At least 2 episodes.
more than that, honestly. Because I think it was even before you like officially became a host. They were like, oh yeah, we'll pull some cards. And then we would record and then get to the end and be like, oh, we're done. And I was like, oh yeah, we never pulled any cards.
Right.
So yeah, just
You
take
bought
like
all
one.
these cards for nothing. Come on.
So just take out, I guess, like one deck and then just shuffle it real well.
Okay.
Like one side, I feel like. So, all right. So the thing we are talking about is, yes, theories, spark cards. I don't know if I've actually ever done this with Riley. I know I've done it with
I know we
Noah
did.
over
I know we did
Zoom.
some of these.
I don't know.
It was like I don't know. It was not.
It wasn't this deck.
It wasn't this deck. No, it was something else.
And then
Man, that's
I've done them with Bailey. So, I mean,
Give you a lot of cards.
yeah, shuffle them.
I'm trying to shuffle them.
Yeah, do it. You got this.
Give you tons of cards.
Exactly. Yes.
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 Theory.
Dating. Game. Go.
What?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you want to pull one?
Yeah. Yeah. No, why not?
Pick a card. Any card.
I'll pull 4. I want that one. That one, apparently. All right, are you gonna
Good?
pull 4?
I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. All on top.
Wow. I tried changing it up. I even have my eyes closed. I really
Fine.
don't know why.
Fine. Do that one.
They're
and then
upside down.
Do that one, and then that
It's on
one,
the ground.
and that one. Happy now.
Most of mine were upside down. All right, ladies first,
Okay, and then
or uncles.
uncles
Uncles first.
or old people.
I'm not old.
You're old compared to me.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Am I actually going?
Yeah,
first?
yeah, go for it.
Okay, fine. Which one do I do? I'm just gonna do this one. What is this?
So we're asking each other these questions.
Oh yeah. So name a common piece of advice you think people should stop giving.
That people should stop giving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's? I'm trying to think. Average, like normal, cliche pieces of advice. You can do anything. Like you can be anything. Yeah.
Or like practice makes perfect. That's like the main thing, because like
Yeah, but I feel like that one I feel like follows through. It's like the 10,000 hours rule. It's that kind of thing. So I feel like that's true. But I feel like you can do anything you want. You can be whatever you want to be.
right.
At one
I feel
point
like
you
that's
just can't.
More of a childish kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's definitely something that like people always tell their kids do things. And it's like yes and no. You don't want to obviously dampen a child's imagination, but in all reality, once you get to a certain point, no,
Is
you
he
can't.
really gonna be an astronaut?
Yeah, the likelihood of some people doing certain things just is super low.
Yeah.
Obviously, you never want to discourage children, but at the
Right.
same time, I think that in all reality, that just doesn't work. Like, there's some people that are just not going to be great bodybuilders
Right.
or world's strongest man or
Yeah.
like
Because
do all these different
actually, in
things.
some circumstances, like some kids, like I'm going to be this, and
They
throughout
never are.
no, like throughout their whole life, they actually become one.
Oh,
Because I
yes.
actually saw a video. It was like the first immigrant astronaut. It was on Prime. Have you seen that or
Mm-mm.
seen anything of it?
No, I guess I haven't.
Or like they talked all about him, and he was freaking a science just nerd, I guess.
Hmm.
And he was like, "I want to be that when I grow up." And like his teacher like started shaming him down. It's like you're not becoming that. Like nobody from wherever you guys come from, I guess, because they came from Mexico
Huh.
and moved into like somewhere in California, and the way they made a living was just like the whole family would go and like start picking like vegetables and stuff. for,
Okay.
like, other
Yeah.
farmers.
Yeah.
So stuff like that.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I can go.
I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think the thing is people do have to understand that there are limitations.
Yeah.
Not
definitely.
saying that you can't shoot above and beyond, but I
Mhm.
think in certain instances, like, it is very like there's just like especially if you go on biologically, like there's just like some people like you're not gonna have a 5'4" female play for the NBA.
Right.
Like you know what I mean? Like that's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like that like there's just certain things that is like obviously you can find different avenues for things, but I mean you got to pick and choose your dreams and at least make them realistic enough you can actually achieve them.
Right.
I think there is both something to shooting higher, and even if you miss,
Mm-hmm.
you'll still land amongst the stars. Like that's the thing. Shoot for the moon, but
Right.
even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. Like that quote. But at the same time, like there are certain situations where it just does make sense.
Right. That makes sense.
But all right. So let's see. Let's go with why are all these upside down again?
That's a question?
Yeah. What's one thing that would make our relationship more meaningful?
Whoa. Dang, it's getting hot in here.
Yeah, right?
I don't know. Wait, it's kind of odd question. But
Nope. Not for this deck. Not at all. You've never
So,
played
like,
this game.
What would make our relationship more meaningful?
Yeah. By the way, if you don't actually know what this is about, it's basically a card game that Yes Theory made to basically bring people closer together.
Where it's like
To get on
icebreaker.
deep conversations, like that kind of thing. Like get to know people
Right.
better.
That is
Yeah, you really got to think about that. Some of these.
like
They make it difficult.
I feel like just spending time with each other. Main thing, basically. I mean,
Yeah.
we spend like at least a day a week.
Now, more than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And part of it being because of the podcast.
Right. So.
But I feel like honestly we've progressively hung out more over time.
Mm-hmm.
Like-
Oh yeah, we definitely did.
Yeah,
when
over-
you and Noah became friends, like I didn't even know you,
Yeah.
and like it was weird as soon as Noah like, because that's when like it was like the Dirty Dan runs.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this Brett guy, he's kind of cool. I want to ride in his car to Dan's.
yes, I was always everyone was trying with me. See, I would say, and I've used the same example with Josh. I have to admit, I drive safe in a vehicle. Golf cart's a whole different story.
Right.
But I've even told Josh like one time at Elwood, you've never played at Elwood yet.
Mm-mm.
But the back nine is hilly. You go on some interesting where the cart pass is. It's gravel. You know, you try drifting. You do stuff. You could roll a golf cart pretty easily in certain instances. And so there was one time me and Josh rode together. One of the first times we ever rode together, I was driving, and he's like, "I'm never riding with you ever again." And obviously he was also giving me shit, but I was like, "See, my job as a driver is to also entertain you, not only get you where you're trying to go."
Yes.
And I was like, so I've always kind of had that. I feel like that's kind of been me. Is like my thing is if I'm with people and I have people over and do something, I always want to try making it a good time.
Right.
Either when it comes to just jamming to music or whatever. So yeah, I could agree to that. We always had fun at the Dan's trips.
Right.
Okay. Oh wait, it's your turn. Go.
Oh.
Yeah, I about read another one. I was like, wait, I'm crossing the line.
Ooh.
I need
Whoa.
some lumbar support.
Okay. What's a boundary you've set in your life to protect your energy?
What was you?
I know, that's actually... What kind of energy are they talking about?
I don't know if it's necessarily a boundary, but I've definitely become better at saying no.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like
I mean, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, for certain instances, there's just like every once in a while, there's just certain times where it's like, oh, like I'm tired, I don't want to do anything, or like even when I'm trying to look out for myself, for my own well being or health, where like I kind of set a sleep schedule. It's been out of whack for 2 weeks, and I'm trying to do a little better, the past couple days, but at the same time, like there was a while where I was going to bed at 9:00 because I was waking up at 5 to go to the gym and be up like 2.5 hours before work and like do all this stuff, and then Freddie would be like, "Oh, well, let's play games," and I'm like, "Well, I gotta go to bed." So I mean, unless we're starting at like 7,
right?
I don't know how long I'm playing or if I'll play because I also cook on my own when I get home and I do this. So like there's certain instances where I've definitely like learned to be able to say no, even though I feel like more than anybody, most of my friends now, especially Freddie in particular, is very good at badgering you just to make you feel not like an asshole, but he just gives you shit more than anybody. And in the end, he doesn't actually mean it, but he just likes to pester.
It's not like he's a bad friend or anything.
No, he just loves to pester, and he's like, "What do you mean you got it? Like, what do you mean you got it?
Come on, dude.
Yeah, are you
Stop
kidding
being lame?
me?
You're so lame."
Yeah. So, but I feel like that because I feel like I used to not do that near as well. But then, like at the same time, there's situations where it's like, you know what, just go with the flow. Don't go to bed at this time. Like yeah, because like I mean,
that's just
like there's one situation which this was last year's Christmas party. Obviously, you left reasonably early. I was one of the last people awake, but like Freddie came back late, and it happened kind of naturally. We weren't paying attention at the time. We were bullshitting. We were playing Truth or Dab and asking a bunch of random stuff and just drinking and hanging out. And we ended up not going to bed till like I looked at my watch and then I was like, holy shit, it's 5:30 in the morning. And so I didn't go to bed till after 6:00 that morning.
Oh my gosh.
And like one of Bailey's friends, which happened to be staying over, was awake as well, and she had to be up in like 2 hours. So like it's like one of those situations where like Kelvin was like, how do you do that? Like I'm tired by 9. I'm like, well yeah, so am I. Typically that's when I go to bed half the time. But like in that situation, sometimes you bite the bullet and hang out with people and you do whatever.
Live your life the way you want to do it.
Yeah. It's like that was one reason why like last time I was worried he might leave so early at the party. It's like, no. I was like, you gotta stay later. You were one of the people I was concerned with, but also Kelvin. I was like, don't leave too early. Like this is not it's not fun. You gotta
I wasn't planning on leaving, but then I got a call. So
yeah, I was like, you gotta do the hang. Like that's part of it, staying late and just hanging out. Yeah. Okay. What's your favorite childhood memory?
Oh man, I cannot pick my favorite one.
We'll just name one of your favorites, I guess. Kind of fill us in a little bit.
Fill us in. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I'm like grown up, and I'm like probably like 2-ish, probably. I was a jerk. I was a jerk kid. I was really a demon, kinda. Like at one instance, my mom, that big van we had. I don't know if you knew us, but
no, I don't think so.
It was huge. It was like we called it the Well van. It was like this green little minivan, basically. Okay. But one instance, we was like leaving, and then my mom's like, "Oh, I need to go grab that." So she like, parked it back in our driveway, and our driveway has an incline, right? Mm-hmm. Well, she leaves me, and I'm buckled up and everything. Well, I unbuckle my seatbelt and everything. I climb to the front, and I put the car in neutral somehow. And the whole car starts rolling backwards. It's very slowly. And my mom walks out, and she like starts yelling at me and running at me. Yeah, it was not that great. It was not great of a day that day.
So wait, that's your favorite memory?
No, I'm just saying. You said fill us in, so like, I'm just saying. So that's like the kind of kid I was, right?
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know what my favorite memory.
That's not what I meant. I meant like once you pick a memory, like kind of explain the
I
story.
mean, that
what
was a
it is.
fun memory. I mean, it was pretty fun. Like, oh, that was
Oh my
me back
gosh.
then. I love that.
Okay, so what are your favorite memories?
Oh no. I mean, I always have like more. It's like favorite memories in sports and stuff, but like I don't think I could pick a favorite. I just have so
Like
many.
a trip, a family thing.
I mean, I love like
meeting
going to
somebody.
Canada and going to
I didn't never know you've been to Canada.
Niagara Falls.
Okay.
Yeah, we went there. We went to Canada, and I've
How
been
old
to
were you?
Canada twice. I want to say like 14. So I know we went to Canada once because Noah had an OCR thing.
Yeah.
And then we came back, and then we went there again for Niagara Falls.
Well,
but I mean, we also went to the Grand Canyon. We traveled a lot when we were younger. So like I said, I just have so many memories. It's just hard to pick one. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Okay. Well, let's say Niagara Falls.
Sure. Okay. Do our personalities mesh well together? How so?
No.
Ouch.
No. Yes, actually.
I think so.
I would say so. How so? I don't know. I feel like our personalities are actually reasonably similar.
We have
Like we have similar interests.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like we honestly, in general, just have like similar enough personalities when it comes to certain things. Like
Right.
in general, similar interests, but we, I feel like are naturally a little more curious minded when it comes to certain stuff, and that kind of thing. So more open minded than I feel like maybe both of our families in certain instances. So I don't know. I feel like in general we just have very similar mindsets. So our personalities just kind of mesh very well in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever felt like you can never truly pay someone for something they did for you? Explain.
Wow. I'm trying to think. Like something that's such a big favor. That I don't think so, honestly. I mean, I don't want to be like
Yeah.
just
There's
like
nothing you can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a rough question.
I mean, how I've been like since I've been growing up and getting older and maturing, like I can tell like how much my mom actually does really just love me, and actually like how much a mother does. So I mean, that could be something, I guess, but because it's so much like you just like no, I can't just like pay for it, you know.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, I get that. Just like in general, how much a mother kind of takes care of their kids,
and a father, I guess, too. So.
And you just don't realize quite how much your parents do for you.
Right?
Or it's.
I mean, like
not well, okay, yeah. I would
sometimes
say
yes, it can be
yes,
underappreciated.
it's underappreciated, especially when you're a child.
Yes, definitely.
That would probably be the best way to put it.
Yeah.
All right, what you got for me?
Well, I kind of know the answer to this, but
not
all of it. So, do you have any siblings?
Mm-hmm.
And what's something about them that's not a lot of people know about?
Oh, I have one sibling. I have a sister. She's been on the podcast. Something not a lot of people know about. Ooh. Oh man. Wow. Okay. What do people not know about my sister? I'm trying to think what you don't know about my sister just to make it easier.
Oh no.
That's actually, my sister honestly does. Okay, well, most people probably don't either realize it or know this. My sister does not handle certain social situations very well. And
I kind of knew that.
Yeah, it's not always the most noticeable.
Right. Yeah.
But
I mean, that's kind of how Noah is. To be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Like you wouldn't know how uncomfortable she gets in certain situations if she just wouldn't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's one thing. Is she gets socially not awkward.
just
always,
I
but
feel
like
she's just like some people have
socially
social.
anxious
Okay.
in certain situations,
Okay, maybe.
depending
I
with
was thinking
like where it is.
I know
or
some people
people.
have just like a social just like shut down. Like after that, they're just like no more.
Bailey kind of can have that at times,
Mm-hmm.
but like like let's just say that like in some situations, like for a long time, like she wouldn't order at like a drive-through. She'd make me order her stuff, like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
like if I was driving,
I kind of.
or it's like, oh well, even as we gotten older, like even being like, oh hey, well we ordered food together, you go pay for it. Like here's my card, and you go get it. And then she'd be like, nope. Like what do you mean nope? Like it's just. All you do is go in there, pick up the order, give them the card, boom, done, leave. Like there's nothing to it.
Right.
But like yes, there's just certain social interactions that she just isn't great with. She's gotten a lot better since like obviously getting out of high school
Right.
and
Going
doing
college
stuff.
probably helps out.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's still there for certain situations.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Are you and your family close? Why or why not?
I'll say we're pretty close. I mean, coming from a homeschool family, you kind of spending time with your mother basically 24/7 and your brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say we're pretty close. I mean, me and my brothers always had like, the classic just wrestle.
Classic wrestle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You guys are rowdy.
Sometimes.
You three brothers.
Sometimes.
You and Noah more.
Oh yeah.
More than anything.
Well, the thing is, both me and Noah are kind of scared of Nathan. And that's probably hard to think about. When Nathan comes at you with such a force that you just scared of him.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, that doesn't.
Like,
that doesn't totally.
He beats up
surprise
Noah
me.
most of the time. They wrestle. I mean, once Noah, got probably bigger, beefier, it's probably a little difficult. But
yeah, but he would still lose now. I feel like.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Because he's gotten smaller again.
Yeah.
Not like small, but like
he's lost some
smaller.
Muscle. Yeah.
Like he went from big to losing like 30 plus pounds of muscle to now putting back on probably like maybe 10, and then
10 or 15 maybe.
Yeah. And then he hasn't got much bigger than that since.
Yeah, well, he just doesn't work.
He
Doesn't work out much.
He doesn't lift like he used to.
I don't even think he works out that much, to be honest. I mean, yeah, it's the fire station and stuff. I know they do.
Yeah.
Really hard work, but
not like he used to.
Right.
It was crazy.
And he used to just go running all the time too. So yeah.
He was relentless. He really was.
I mean, just go check out the first episode and he tells you exactly what he did all in high school.
Yeah, like no, it was the dude was something else, 100%.
He was insane. He really was.
Exactly. So, are you looking forward to anything soon, in general? Pop culture, movies, music, things, podcast, games.
Concert. That I'm ready for that. I really.
That'll be amazing.
I actually saw. Did you see I got a notification said a Juice WRLD concert going on. I'm like, how in the world? How would that even happen?
I don't know.
I mean, I can see just people showing up and just listening to your songs, but how would they full on?
Well, I mean, they did something like that kind of for Tupac at one point. They did like a holographic, like concert.
Oh, really? That's kind of
where they created like a hologram.
That's kind of sad.
And then played like some of his music. This was at this point. By now, I think that was almost 10 years ago. But I mean, I've thought about that. Like, I thought as a Juice WRLD fan, I was like, oh, I can't wait till something like that happens in like 5-10 years, because it's like I love his music. He has a lot of stuff, and I don't necessarily think there's a song from him that I completely just dislike.
Yeah, I mean, I really like his music.
Like, what was so funny is, but my dad brought up Post Malone the other day. He's like, yeah, do you listen to the Malone guy, right? And I'm like, yeah.
The Malone guy.
And I'm like, yeah, why? He's like, oh, I've listened to some of his music. He's really good. I was like, yeah, he's amazing.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And my dad's like, yeah, I've been listening to some of his stuff. Like, he's really good. I was like, yes, he is. He's awesome. He's like, yeah, I saw a video where he was talking about how much he doesn't actually like his own voice and doesn't think that it's that good. And I'm like, yep, true. Some people hate the sound of their own voice. Yeah. But I was like, his voice is so unique compared to a lot of people.
I actually really do like his voice.
Exactly.
It's kind of what makes his music.
Oh, yeah. Like, he
makes
puts soul into it. Like, he really does. Like, depending, especially seeing him live. And you just you hear the quake in his voice because he's putting so much emphasis into the music and the song. like it's awesome.
bet
Like
it
I was
is.
like, yeah, Dad, I've seen him in person. He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, yeah, I did. I was like, last year. It was amazing. I was like, he spent at least 2 or 3 songs where like all the auto tune, all the production was basically shut off, and it was just him and a guitar, guitar. Yeah, it was. And he
What?
just played. Yeah, he just played acoustically. That was just as awesome. Like
Right.
obviously, yeah, he doesn't have the smoothest voice from like any
I
musician.
mean, yeah.
Like there's
but-
definitely other people that have better singing voices.
Right.
But his is so
it's just
unique
so
that it
unique.
works.
Yes.
Yeah, and people like it.
And the
And
way
it's,
he
I
just
feel like in the
and the
end
way
it's
he-
almost more average, and I think that's why it's like better. Like
And
his
he's-
shit isn't just like
right.
outstanding where it's just like holy shit, I can't believe he's hitting these notes. I can't believe he's singing like
Right.
that. It's almost like a normal guy, but he was able to create and make these amazing songs.
Yeah, I was gonna say just like being a songwriter.
Yeah, my dad's like,
making
how
them
old
songs.
is he? And I was like, I think he's like 28. And he is 28.
Maybe yeah.
And my dad's like, oh, I thought he was older. I was like, no. I think part of it was his tattoos and another.
He looks older.
He does kind of
really
look
does.
older. But I was like, yeah, no, he's only 28. Like he's really not much older than me.
Right.
And it's kind of crazy when you think about it. But the guy's
Jeez.
like one of the largest artists ever at this point
Right.
within the last decade.
He definitely is one of the top. One
Yeah.
of the top.
Yeah, especially for the past decade. Like
Oh, yeah.
every album, he's had some of the most ridiculous songs,
Oh,
like
yeah.
largest songs out there. So, but he's like, yeah, I really like that song "Chemical," and I was like, I love how he named it. I was like, that's awesome. I was like, my
What?
dad actually remembered the name of the song from
That's
Post Malone.
great.
Like that's
Like me knowing your dad too.
yeah,
Like
it's
your
like,
dad's
really?
like this hillbilly, I guess, kind of figure.
Sorta, yeah.
Just
We should have him on sometime.
that would be something.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. But yeah, it's just it was kind of surprising. Like I literally like 2 minutes later, I was like, listen to like we were on the phone. I was like, I can't believe you asked me about Post Malone. Like what the hell? Like it was just like out of nowhere.
Did
But
you
I was
tell
like, that's
Bailey
awesome.
about that?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Dude, you'd be so confused.
Yeah, she'd be like, wait, huh? But like he loves 80s music. I mean, that's what he grew up on.
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
that was when he was in high school. Of course,
that's what
his,
my dad does.
that's like that was his music. And some people
Mhm.
have even said that there is something to and I think part of it, like me and Kelvin were talking about this the other day, that it's I don't know if it's a nostalgic thing almost, but there is something to where you will believe that some of the best music ever made was probably the shit you listened to basically from like 15 to 22.
Yeah.
Like that'll be like the shit you love forever.
Uh-huh.
And it'll be hard for you to eventually listen to new music as genres and music in general kind of changes over time.
Yeah, maybe.
And I'm like, I guess I kind of get that because I feel like most people are like, oh, best songs, and it goes to the shit they like were listening to in high school,
Right. I mean,
and that makes sense.
I know, like, yeah.
Like
over
people
ti-
like Adam and other people, they'll be
yeah.
like, if they listen to hip hop, they probably don't know jack shit when it comes to rap and hip hop now.
Mhm.
But you go back to 90s shit, and they're like, this is a jam. This is the
Yeah.
greatest stuff ever. And it's like, not saying it's bad. I
It's
wouldn't
just
necessarily
like-
say it's the greatest shit ever.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, in the future, like when new genres come out.
Yeah.
Or I guess new songs in the.
That's
same
why I
genre.
try.
Well,
I
like-
listen to my go-tos,
Yeah.
but I
well,
try
have,
to sprinkle
yeah,
in new
I
shit
have,
all the time.
Like a broad, just
Same.
music I
Very
listen
broad.
to.
Very
Really
broad.
broad. Like sometimes it would be rap, and then sometimes it would be just acoustic. Like
I don't really listen to acoustic, but like
I mean, I don't.
I'll
listen
go
to
from like
a
rap
whole lot,
to
but-
some slight country to
Yeah.
pop to, my brain it's like rock, classic rock,
Right.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Like
I do like rock too. Rock's
yeah,
good.
so it's yeah, I know what you mean, but it was kind of funny that my dad brought that up.
Yeah,
I was just like,
that's
wow,
great.
my dad knows who Post Malone is. That's funny.
And how old is your dad?
50, you gonna be 53?
Jeez.
53? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
It's
Yeah. He's
okay.
gonna be 53.
My dad's
No shit. 54.
no 55.
Yeah, he's gonna be 54. Yeah, he's gonna be 54 in November. Damn. Yeah, that makes me. Ooh. Wow. Look at that.
Look at that. Look at that.
Look at that. I don't know. That's just. Yeah, it is just kind of weird because you don't think about like. Because honestly, how often do. I feel like nowadays more than ever, but at the same time, it is still really weird for like. I feel like somebody being like, oh yeah, my parents listen to the same music I listen to.
Yeah, that is kind of weird because my mom definitely doesn't. Definitely doesn't.
I'm thinking about my mom. I'm thinking about other people I know. That yeah, like I mean, like Josh listens to stuff that's a little closer to like stuff I might listen to slightly, but at the same time, even his stuff's slightly older, or like the main artist you might listen to that's a little more like new school would be like Mac Miller.
Right.
I'm like, well, yeah, Mac Miller's great. Like
He is great. I like him.
yeah, I mean, amazing music. I don't know. I'm looking forward to possibly doing or going to more concerts. I didn't go to a single one this year. Last year I went to like 5.
I know.
This year I went to 0. I mean, there's still 2 months in the year. There's a chance. There's a possibility.
I don't know. Actually.
I don't know. It depends on who possibly comes into town.
Right.
If I want to go see them, but I'm trying to think so things to look forward to that I want to watch. I need to keep watching Shameless. Boom. I started watching Chimp Empire.
You really wanted to talk about this?
Little bit. Like I don't know. Like I need to watch the whole thing, but the only reason I kind of know about it was like I think I saw the ad for it when it was first coming out, and then Rogan's brought it up. And I'm like, what is this? But it's basically almost like a reality TV show / documentary where you're in the middle of the Congo and you literally are following these group of chimps. And like, so this is this one place, the Ngogo chimps. Like this is the Ngogo forest, and this place has had a laboratory there for 60 years. Like these chimps have basically been like desensitized to being around humans because they've been around scientists and all these stuff, observers for years, researchers. Right. So basically this was like the only place in the world where you can actually like bring in a camera crew and be very up close and personal with chimps. Like, I mean, like they did say like one of the directors came and went on Rogan and they talked about it and how they recorded it and how like certain things were. And they're like, yeah, you're not supposed to allow them to get so close, and if so, back away and do this. But he's like, there's definitely times where we kind of got caught in between two groups, and you're like, what the fuck do we do? And like they're very aware of you. They look at you, they watch you, but that doesn't necessarily mean they necessarily will come and mess with you. They're like, the main thing is they're like, don't have food around them. That's the biggest thing.
Makes sense.
Because they will come for it.
Yeah.
It's like, makes sense. But so I'm only like 2 episodes in. I don't know actually how long it is. But like you basically, like the Ngogo group is also one of the largest known chimp groups in the world. That's like in one area.
I did not know that.
And so it's like 150 split into 2 separate groups in this one area. Okay. And so there's a rivalry. And then like it talks about them hunting and shit. Like they eat monkeys. Like they'll go and kill little monkeys and just eat them raw. Like rip them apart. It's insane.
That's messed up.
It kinda. And then you got like these babies. Like they all have names and you know how old they are and like who's the alpha, who's kind of the second in command, who's trying to work his way up.
That's kind of cool. Cool.
Like you kind of get to see the dynamic and learn more about them and certain things. And then like they have rivalries with other chimp groups. Like they will just attack and they're just hostile. And like within the first episode, they show one chimp getting killed, not killed, but they like the group comes back to this area and they found his body, and they were like another chimp group came in and ambushed him and he was alone and they killed this chimp. It was like shit. Like it's like they straight up have like wars. They have like almost like gang wars in the jungle where it's like, don't cross our territory. It's
kind of cool, but also terrifying.
Yeah, right?
Imagine, like, being in the middle of that.
And then, like, well, it's so weird because it's like, I know apes, like, chimps are very close to humans, like, all this stuff. And I've seen stuff, read stuff. But this show just shows so much footage that you're sitting there watching them and you literally see, like, facial expressions change and, like, how they're kind of interacting with one another and picking up on like almost literally like body language and how they kind of communicate and stuff. And it's really crazy to think about because I mean there's no language. Like obviously they can communicate via vocals, but not like we can, not in the same way we can. And so how they display stuff when it comes to like physicality and how they do stuff, it's pretty crazy to kind of observe. And I'm like, I'm really curious to see like how this goes because like is there a story to it? Like how did they actually make this? But like one of the things he did talk about when he was on Rogan that I found very interesting is how there's a few chimps that they said either end up as alpha or sometimes don't necessarily try to work their way up. They're always still a reasonably high ranking, respected male
Mm-hmm.
and seem to have a decent amount of pull in the group, even though they never alpha. They never really actually tried going for it. And one thing that they noted, and I can't remember who it is. Like, I kind of want to go back to be like, oh, who was it they were talking about? Because all the chimps are named.
Mm-hmm.
So I can be like, oh, that guy, I need to pay attention to him. But how there's like this one chimp, and they've noticed it in a few, and it's very rare. But some chimps, not all of them, have white eyes,
Mm-hmm.
like more almost like a human, where most chimps have like instead of the white of their eyes, it's brown, it's darker. And they think that this also has something to do with possibly even how we evolved to how our eyes work and how important it is with like facial communication and everything, is you can see someone's intent and intention a lot better through their eyes on where they're looking,
Mm-hmm.
what they're trying to do, how they show their emotion. When you can actually see the whites of their eyes, it's easier to detect like where the eyeballs are, what they're looking at, what they're paying attention to. Where if it's all collared, it's a lot harder to notice that.
Right.
And so I think that has something to do with them kind of understanding his true intentions more than other chimps. You might not know if this guy's kind of trying to get one over on you. You can kind of see their true intentions and stuff. And they're like, so Rogan was like, wait, are they evolving? And he's like, possibly, but it hasn't been noticed enough for it to necessarily be like, oh, this is a trait that's like becoming more common in chimps. But it's like, that's still pretty interesting. I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's cool. But like, I want to watch that. But at the same time, like something we'll probably talk about, we might even shoot for on the next episode, Nuclear Now, which I think I brought up in the past, which is that documentary I told you about. Basically a pro-nuclear documentary. So, I mean, I don't necessarily want to get into it now. I've watched half, but it's pretty interesting. I think it would be a fun topic of discussion to have. But yeah, I think the main thing for everybody to look forward to in a couple of weeks is the live stream. I think it'll be really fun.
That will be fun.
It'll be interesting to see how that goes. I think we'll get even if we don't have a lot of viewers, I think we'll get a lot of views possibly off of it, or a decent amount. Or if we make videos or shorts, I feel like we'll be able to pull a lot of stuff from this.
It's gonna be a lot of, I feel like not like bad chaos, but there's gonna be a lot of fun chaos.
Yeah,
into
100%.
the live stream.
Yes, they're just gonna be.
Make sure to watch.
I think hopefully some form of controlled chaos. Is kind of what we're shooting for.
It's not gonna be like everybody's everywhere, but
yeah, it will be very interesting to see exactly how everything works out. But so please, if you have listened this far, be sure to like and subscribe.
Yes.
Tell your friends about the podcast. We did have somebody that's just subscribed last week and even said this podcast is underrated, and that's very much appreciated. I wish I knew his name so I could give him a shout out right here, right now. See if you can pull it up real quick.
Pull up right now.
I think I kind of remember what it is, but
you don't want to butcher it.
Yeah, I don't want it to be wrong.
Right.
But no, he said that, and I was like, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I mean, I know that we're definitely not the world's #1 podcast. I'm definitely not as an intriguing person as Rogan. I think we can both agree on that.
Right.
But
it was.
You go ahead.
On a banana peel 131.
Yep. Thank you. Slipped on a banana peel. I hope that we see you on the live stream.
Yes,
That'd be awesome. We do appreciate your support, and everybody out there. Yeah, go. Also, I don't think we ever actually announced this. So now, if you do listen on Spotify, let's say you don't have YouTube or whatever, or you are on YouTube but you like the videos and you prefer listening on Spotify, we do have video on Spotify now.
Yep.
We are part of that program sort of through Anchor and stuff, so you guys can watch the podcast on Spotify.
That's what I've been doing.
So that's something that's probably been maybe within the last month. I would say maybe four or 5 episodes roughly. So just so you guys are aware, that is there. But if not, watch on YouTube, subscribe, and we do appreciate it.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, well, we will see you guys all next week. I think we had a pretty good episode.
I think so too. So.
Well, I don't know. I just realized.
What?
We might have to dress up next week. It's Halloween.
It is.
It'll literally come out.
Next week's the week of the.
It'll come out the day after Halloween. So
Shoot.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something.
We'll definitely.
Yep,
Make sure to watch it.
we'll
We're gonna
definitely
dress
try
up.
doing
We're
a
dressing up.
Halloween episode. So look forward to that, and we'll see you guys all later.
Yep.
Peace out, everybody.